Hi all. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes for people to join in. And meanwhile, can you please confirm whether you can hear me loud and clear? Can someone drop a message that I am loud and clear and there is no distractions? Hi Deeban. Yes, good morning, good evening. I can see a couple of messages now. Thanks, John. Thanks for confirming you can hear me. Thanks, Carol. You made it clear. I'm loud and clear. Thanks for that. Yes, Judith, Robert. Hi, Judith. Good to see you here. Okay, I'll wait for a minute more. Okay, and without wasting any time, we will start the session very soon. Hi, Subaraman. I can see many of my students are there in today's sessions. Good to see that. Maybe a couple of more people are joining. I can see the number is increasing slowly. So let's give it a minute more and then we will start. Good to see so many students and also some new names here. So definitely there are new names. Yes, good afternoon. I can see one friend from Nigeria. Good afternoon, buddy. Hey Karanjit, good. I know you guys you are practicing well. Let's see how this live session goes for you. Hey Robert, good morning. Fine, I think we are three almost 2 minutes into the call, more than 2 minutes. So let's start the session. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I know you guys are joining from different part of the world. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I welcome each one of you, and I thank each one of you for joining this live sessions conducted by EduHubSpot, the live question answer session for PMP exam practices. Right. So I am Nideesh-Balakrishnan. Many of you might know. The people who doesn't know, I am Nideesh-Balakrishnan, and I work as the lead PMP mentor with EduHub. Fine. So good to see so many people have joined in for the live sessions. And my sincere apologies. Okay, last week I was supposed to conduct a Q&A session, but I couldn't because of some personal commitment. So here I am today again conducting this, and I'll make sure. Okay, every bi-weekly we are conducting at least one session for these practices. So I can see a couple of new names are here. So let me explain. The people who already attend these sessions, I know you guys know how it works, but I can see a couple of new names here. So let me explain what is the agenda of this session and how this works. Fine. So here we all you guys know that the session is about PMP practice questions, right? So I am here with 5 important PMP questions which will give you guys a very good insight of how to approach PMP questions and how to answer them. So first I will show one by one. So one question I will display in the screen and you have to read it, okay, and select the best choice. So when I say select the best choice, you have to drop a message. So you have to drop your answer in the chat, okay, and then after 1 minute, so there's a timer on the question, so I'll give you 1 minute for each question. Fine. So once the timer is on, you have to read the question and answer it in a minute. Fine. And then, okay, I will discuss the question and the answer, the reason behind it. Fine. So that's how it will work. And also why you need to practice PMP questions this hard, right? The reason, okay, you guys know that PMP exams are tough, right? It's not easy to crack. The reason they are tough is because the PMP questions are all scenario based, situation based, right? So they will give you a scenario situation in a project and then they'll ask you what is the best, okay, solution for it, or else how to prevent this. right? Or as a PM or as a Scrum Master, what next step you'll take, right? And that's not the only reason your questions are tough, right? I always tell my students, okay, project management is not about like mathematics where you know 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That's the answer. Here, when you have a project situation, you might have better, more than one options as a answer or solution for your problem, right? But in PMP exams, as per PMP teaching, as per PMI mindset, okay, as per the process they have defined, based on that, what's the best choice, right? That's what it makes tough your PMP questions and the exam. And you also have 180 questions to be answered in 230 minutes, which gives you 1 minute 16 seconds almost, if you do the math, okay, to answer one question, right? So that's the reason I will make you guys practice with 1 minute timer, okay, so that, yeah, we know how to manage time in our exams. So I hope, okay, the agenda, the intent behind this session is one, yes, to make you guys practice PMP questions and give you some insights on some concepts, okay? So whatever I'm going to talk in today's session, I have a limited time of 30 to 35 minutes, right? So whatever I explain will be capsuled format, okay? But in the classes, definitely we explain in detail. My students know that, who have attended, right? But yeah, for me, I have a time restriction. So might, okay, whenever I'm going to explain some concept behind the answers, I might restrict myself and make it a capsule format where, yeah, I'll give you insight behind the answers here. Fine. So without wasting your time, it's almost 6 minutes, sorry guys. Okay, let's start. I will definitely extend the session for 5 more minutes. No worries on that. Okay, no compromise on quality from EduHub, that we make sure. Fine. So let me share the screen and let's start question number one. So I expect everyone to read the question. Okay, let's respect the timer. Okay, so read the question and answer within a minute. Fine. So my intent is anyone who have joined here to take away some learning out of it. Okay, I'll make sure, I'll try my maximum to give some more, okay, extra insight than the question answers what we have. So let's see that. So let me share the screen, and here we go with the question number one. So let me start the timer. I hope the question is visible. Can someone just confirm once? Exactly 15 more seconds left, and I haven't seen any answers yet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I see some answers? Okay, here it comes. Thanks for that. Rakin, congrats. You're the first one to start the answer. Okay, many of you have going with A as in alpha, and I can see one C here. But collectively, most of you have selected A. Let me see some more answers. And I would also request you guys not to follow the trend. Okay, instead of you apply your own thinking and come up with the answer. I can see a couple of people have selected C. Okay, and most of you have gone with A. Fine. So most of you have gone with A. Let's discuss the question then. So the question says Scrum Master receives a message from a key stakeholder early in the sprint. Okay, the stakeholder is new to agile workflows, okay, strongly believes agile practices embrace change and demands a change to a deliverable that the team has already begun working on. What is the best course of action is Scrum Master for the Scrum Master here, right? So A says, where most of you have selected, facilitate a discussion between the stakeholder and the product owner to evaluate the request. I would say this looks to be the best option here. Okay, so why it is good or better option? The reason is whenever, okay, a change or any feedbacks which comes to the agile project, it has to be through product owner, right? The product owner owns the product owner owns the product backlog, so the product owner owns the scope, right? So any feedback, any changes, right, for any reasons, it is coming from anyone, so any stakeholder here. So in this case, there's a stakeholder, right? So any changes, it has to go through a product owner. So in this situation, facilitating a discussion between the stakeholder and product owner is the best way. Fine. So let's see if we have now the rule number one of PMP questions. Never ever stick to the correct answers the first moment you see a correct answer, right? There might be a better options as well. So let's see if we have or not. So bring up the request in the next daily stand up and let the development team decide on the next steps. It doesn't make sense at all, right? Daily stand-ups is for the team to see how, for the team to catch up on, how their daily works are going on, right? So there the team is going to talk, they are just going to huddle up on daily basis for 10 to 15 minutes, and they are going to talk about each member. That not talk, each member will just say like what they did yesterday, what they are planning to do today, and if they have any impediments or not, right? So such cases is not at all relevant for a daily stand up, and also a team cannot decide on the scope change. Fine. So B is completely wrong. C says work with the PO to immediately adjust the sprint backlog to respect agile values, embrace change. Now look, agile values about embracing change is correct statement, right? But for that reason, I cannot change the scope of the current sprint. So any changes which comes, it has to go to the product backlog, right? So you have a sprint backlog on which the team is working on the current sprint, but any change request, it should go to the product backlog and then get prioritized, right? It should be estimated and prioritized there, and it has to go through the product owner. Fine. So for that reason, C is also not correct. D says cancel the sprint and hold an urgent retrospective, including product owner, to address the stakeholders' concern. Now, here actually stakeholder just come up with a change request with an understanding that agile team embraces changes, right? So for that reason, I don't have to cancel the sprint right away and start a retrospective. And also the retrospective is all about what went well, what went wrong, for the team to understand, or the team to discuss about lessons learned and about their ways of working, how to improvise the ways of working. That's what the team will be discussing in retrospective. So while during the sprint, if anything went wrong or if anything went good for the team, that will be discussed. Okay, so D is not a good option for me, so I will stick to A, as most of you have answered. So yes, A is the correct choice here. Okay, so let's go to number two question. So without wasting any time, let's go to number two. And if in case in between you guys have any questions, okay, you can put in the chat. If possible, I will answer them. So let's go to question number two, and let me start the timer. My God. Sorry, guys. I was on mute. Very sorry for that. So, in between, I congratulated Kamal for clearing the exam last week, and also Karanjit, all the best for your exam tomorrow. Okay, and sorry for that. So let's continue then. I don't want to waste your time. So, question number two says a project manager is leading an initiative that follows a structured scope and predefined quality standards. However, the recent launch by a competitor have raised concerns that the project's final deliverable may no longer be competitive upon completion. Fine. So, that is the project situation. Now, what is the best approach for a project manager to address this situation? Fine. I hope you guys can hear me now. Okay, let's discuss this answer now. So A says proceed with the current project plan to maintain schedule adherence and avoid unnecessary changes. Looks good, okay to me, okay, but still I have a situation where my competitor have already launched something and it seems it might create some problem for me. But let's see if we have a better option. Fine. Analyze the competitors' updates. I hope you guys can hear me now, right? I didn't see any confirmation message. Yes, okay, fine. So B says analyze the competitors' updates, okay, assess potential risk and seek approval from the government governance bodies to implement necessary adjustment. Look, if I compare to A and B, so this is how we have to use your elimination technique. So when you have a okay choice, a good choice, you keep it with you, but compare with the next better choice what you see. So when I compare A and B, it seems B is better for me because I see there is a risk, okay, for my project because my competitors have launched something and it might hinder my project's deliverable, okay, success of my project deliverable. So definitely it's a risk for me. So when a risk is identified, okay, I have to analyze it and see if in case any changes have to be made, right? So B seems to be good option for me. C says conduct an in-depth market analysis to explore alternative materials or solutions that could enhance deliverable value. Look, C is also a good option, right? But when I compare B and C, okay, to answer your PMP questions, always remember to follow the process, right? The process as a project manager, what I have to do, I have identified a risk here. So the moment I see the situation in a project, it means I have identified a risk. So when I identify a risk, definitely I have to take it as a risk, and then I have to do the analysis and then proceed with it, right? So maybe I will do step C, but after doing B, right? So identifying it as a risk, and then while doing a detailed study, I might go for C also. So B will come first. Fine. D, update the issue log, discuss with the stakeholder and team to come up with a viable solution. Look, why D is not a correct choice here? When I compare to B and D, D is not a correct choice. The reason is this is not yet a issue. Okay, the difference between risk and issue, let me tell that. Okay, so risk is future tense. Fine. So let me tell you the differences between um, risk and issue, right? So risk is always future tense, right? So if I tell I want to go for a road trip, I'm going to take a road. If my friend says, okay, this road is highly accidental prone and it will be risky for you to go in the road, right? So it's a future tense. I'm not yet entered the road. I have not yet started riding the bike, right? So once I enter the road, ride the bike, and if in case, okay, I met with an accident, risk means it is future tense. You don't know whether it is going to happen or not. So risk is always known as known unknown. Why it is known? Because you have identified the risk. And why it is unknown? You don't know whether this will happen or not, right? So any event or condition which might happen and will affect, if in case it happens, it will affect my impact my project in a positive or negative way is risk, right? So in this case, it says, okay, you might, okay, have a problem. It means it's a risk in the project. Issue means while going in the road, if in case I met with an accident, then it becomes a issue. Then the risk will become a issue. Now I have to close the risk and add it to a issue register and start working on it. Right now it's still a future tense. Okay, the problem have not occurred, so I'll still consider it as a potential risk in my project. For that reason, okay, B is the best choice. Fine. So let me submit B and let's see. Yeah, so B is the best choice here, right? And here are some explanations given on that. Fine. So let's proceed to the next question, which is number 3. I hope the font size, everything is clear. Hey, Colonel Rima, welcome to the session. Thanks for attending it. Okay, I haven't started this timer. Here we go. It's a small question. Look, such size questions, I would say in PMI exam, you should not take more than 40 seconds. Okay. I'll give you some tips. Right now, I won't disturb you guys. Go ahead. Okay, good to see answers are pouring in before this time. So, Tanga T, I know you are attending this for the first time. Okay, and you have opened the answer for this question. Good to see that. So, many of you have selected A, and a couple of you have selected D. No, I won't say this answer is selected. Okay, it was just clicked upon, so it's showing. So, it's not selected yet. Okay, so I can actually click anywhere, so it will get selected. So, sorry for that. Sorry for making the confusion. So, I have not yet selected the answer. Yeah, it should be like this. Fine. So I have seen A, C, and B here. Okay. So before I continue, somebody have asked what is any strategy to read the questions quickly. Look, when you're reading a questions in PMI exam, keep two things in mind. Fine. I always tell my students, so you have to keep two things in mind. One, all the PMI questions, one they have a project situations, okay, or a problem statement. Fine. And second part is it will ask you what you're going to do, or what is expected out of you. So as a project manager, what is the next step? As a project manager, what is the solution for this problem? Or as a project manager, how you can prevent the situation? What you could have done to prevent it? Right? All the question have two parts in it. So they might have 5 to 6 lines, but when you're reading the question, always try to capture the situation and the problem statement. Right, there will be some jargons in the question, right? So always capture the situation and problem statement. So when you read it, you look for that, right? And then at the end also you make sure you understand what they're expecting. So if you do that, you don't end up reading the PMP questions multiple times. One more tip for the day. Okay, I don't prefer people reading the PMP questions multiple times. The reason is, okay, if you read too many times, you start over analyzing the questions, you start reading the lines between the questions. Okay, when you are answering the PMP questions, always stick to the information what is there in the question. So PMI will give you the information for you to analyze and then answer, okay, to come up with the best choices. They don't want you to assume things. So when you read the questions multiple times, you start assuming things, right? So when you read the question with clarity, what you're looking for, your brain will capture exactly the situation and what it's expected out of it. Then it will be easier for you to answer it. Fine. And somebody have said in last question, okay, why B is not the correct choice. Okay, I don't remember the options here. Okay, we might revisit. Let's see that. Okay, so let's see this question right now. What we have. So during an active sprints based on the recent market changes, a key stakeholder demands for an immediate addition of a new feature that they believe will enhance the product. Fine, fair enough, right? Because that's why you do, agile, the projects in agile way where stakeholders can give feedbacks in any point in time. They can give changes in any point in time, right? But yeah, to elaborate any point in time, okay, there is a, I should underline that line. It's not like whenever they give, you have to take the change and start working on it. Doesn't mean that, right? There is a process to be followed. Fine. A product owner will stand like a gatekeeper, and then Okay, he will put that in a product backlog and then it will get prioritized and all. So there are some process to be followed. So what is the best approach for the scrum master to handle this request? Right, so A says defer the request features to upcoming sprint for proper prioritization planning. Looks good to me. Okay, even though it is not explaining the process. Now one more tip for the day for PMP questions. Okay, so when you answer the PMP questions, not necessary every option will be the exact correct option. Okay, in this case, I would like this request to be added in a product backlog by the product owner and get it prioritized, estimated, and so on. Right. So they have not completely expressed the process here, but the answer looks good to me. As a scrum master, I can I defer it? No, I won't defer it. But what they are trying to mean here is, okay, defer the requested features, okay, to the upcoming sprint for proper prioritization planning. So when I say proper prioritization and planning, it can be happened only through product backlog, grooming, and refinement. So indirectly they are hinting to that. So far I feel A is a good choice, but anywhere else, if any other choices says, okay, the product owner have to add this request in product backlog and then prioritize it or groom it and all, I would go for that. Fine. Let's see what is B. B says implement the request changes immediately since they are easy to accommodate. Look, even though if the question doesn't say these are easy to accommodate, even though if it is easy to accommodate, you cannot just take the change like that. Okay, any change have to undergo the process of backlog refinement and grooming, right? So it has to go through the product owner have to add it to the product backlog after doing the analysis, and then prioritization, estimation, and so on. Fine. So it will the all the items will be picked upon for working from the product backlog based on the highest priority. Fine. Now C says inform the stakeholder that such feedbacks must be provided during sprint review demo sessions. Look, C is completely incorrect statement. I cannot say a stakeholder that in agile projects he cannot give what do you say, changes or feedbacks or requests, okay, only in demo sessions. I cannot restrict them to speak or to provide the feedbacks or any request only in demo sessions. In demo sessions, yes, the team will show a demo to the product owner as a mandatory okay, attendee there, and if in case customer wants to join, they can join, right, the important stakeholders. But PO is the mandatory person in the demo sessions. Now in the demo, the team will show a demo to the product owner and customer whatever they have completed in that current sprint, right? So while they're showing the demo, the customer or the product owner can give some feedbacks, or else they can give some new request as well, right? So your demo sessions are divided into two parts. One is demo and feedbacks. Second part, they talk about adding a new feature and the market conditions, blah blah, right? So these things are discussed in demo sessions for sure, but the product owner have to be always aligned with your customer or the stakeholders. Anytime the stakeholders can come with a request and all, but it cannot be added in the current sprint. It will be added to the product backlog, gets prioritized, and based on the priority it will be picked in the upcoming sprints. Fine. So for that reason, okay, C is completely incorrect. I cannot restrict them to give feedbacks only during the demo sessions. Fine. D, reject the request citing contractual contracts that prevent mid sprint. Now, we don't know what type of contract they have used. Okay. And I don't think Agile will have a restricted contract that they cannot give any feedbacks during the sprint. Fine. So definitely, as I said, the agile, there are so many types of agile contracts. Okay. And agile contracts are written in a way where customer collaboration is upheld, right? And it will be written in a way where it will allow scope change on the whole, but not for the current sprint for sure. But here also, okay, it is wrong to reject the request. We have to make the stakeholder understand what is the process behind it. Okay, definitely we'll embrace change, but this is the process we have. So out of A, B, C, D, okay, I won't say A is the exact perfect correct answer, but A makes much more sense comparing to B, C, D. So A is the correct choice here. Fine. So definitely A is the correct choice. Fine. So let's go to the next question. Here we go. Let me start the timer. Question number 4. Sorry, Candy, you have said what to repeat. Let me know what you want to repeat. I will try. So let's see who will open to answer this question. Who's the winner? Okay, 3, 2, 1, 0. Can I see some answers, guys? Okay, Amitav, congrats. You have started off with the answers. Sorry, yeah, Amitav, you have started off. Actually, Vijay have answered before that. Sorry, Vijay. You are the winner here. Fine, I can see A, D, B, D. Okay, so A, B, D. I can see 3 answers are being popped up here, and most of you are going with D. Okay, I can see more of you are going with D. Okay, let's discuss the question then. But I can see A, B also there. Okay, an organization customized to predictive project management has recently experimented with agile in selected area actually of a project. Encouraged by this success, the project sponsor now requests that the entire project be converted to an agile framework. Okay, so this is a project situation, not a problem statement, but this is a project situation. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take? Fine. So engage the product owner to assess whether continuing with the predictive elements is necessary. Okay. I won't say it is a bad choice. Okay. Let's keep it with us. What's wrong, in checking? Okay. Engage the product owner to assess whether, no, but why product owner would assess that? Right. I want some subject matter experts to do it, but product owner can be a subject matter experts also. Right. So I won't say it's completely wrong, whether continuing with predictive elements is necessary. Okay, because the sponsor is saying to completely go to agile, but we are just double checking before doing that, right? Not bad. B, recommend that agile adoption be applied only to future projects instead of current one. Now, why I should do that, right? Because the sponsor says, okay, he's happy with the success. You also agreed with the experiment. That's the reason it is done, and seems it is successful as per the question. That's why I said never read between the lines. They have given the information that it was experimented, it's being successful, the sponsor is happy. Now you want to convert to agile. Simple as that, right? So I don't see B is the correct choice here. So comparing A and B, I'll go for A. Fine. Then C, automatically convert all project deliverables into user stories and inform the team. Look, the moment sponsor says, okay, let's go agile, I won't right away do this. Okay, so I won't right away automatically convert all the project deliverables into user stories and done. And also, okay, what are user stories in adaptive environment? Look, user stories are the requirements in adaptive environment. So all the requirements in adaptive environments are written in the form of user stories. Fine. So C doesn't make any sense here, so again I'll stay with A. D, initiate a formal change request through the change control board, okay, CCB, to transition the project. Now, if you see A and D, D seems to be the best choice for me. Okay, a change request has been raised by a sponsor here. So sponsor have come up with a change request, right, to transform your project into agile. So now you have to document it as a change request, and then what is the process of change request? Let me give you a capsule on that. Okay, not the total whole explanation. Change request in a predictive environment. One, the moment the change request comes in, you have to document it in change log. After that, you have to do a 360-degree analysis of the changes impact on your project. Okay, how it is going to impact the project? When I say 360-degree analysis, you have to analyze the impact on the budget, the schedule, okay, the quality. Is it going to add any new risk in the project? And all the project management stuffs, right? You have to check it from 360-degree angle, and then you have to prepare a report. After you prepare the report, you have to call for a CCB, change control board meeting. And the change control board are the authorized people in your project to assess your report and then take a decision whether this change is worth or good for the project to accept it, or else it's not at all good, let's reject it. So they will take a decision here. Okay, so what you have to do as a PM is follow the process. So the project seems to be predictive environment project, right? A change has come, so follow the process, simple as that, right? So D is the best choice. So while doing D, okay, while doing the analysis, maybe I'll ask my subject matter experts to, A. So maybe the product owner is the subject matter expert here. I might ask the product owner, is it any element in the project which is having a necessity of continuing in predictive way or not? So even that will be captured as a analysis report. Fine. So A can be done, but yeah, B is the first one. So this is where Varun, our founder, talks about Neil Armstrong technique, where who landed first in the moon, right? So here, when I compare D and A, first I have to do D, then only I have to go for A. Fine. So we have discussed about two techniques. Okay, the secrets of EduHubSpot techniques today. So yeah, D is the correct choice. So let me submit. So D is the answer, and here are some explanations behind it. Fine. So let's step into the last question. It's already almost 40 minutes to the sessions. Okay. Anyways, as I promised, I will extend it for 5 or 10 minutes. So let's do question number 5. And if in case you have any doubts, you can drop in the chat. Before I close the session, I might answer them. So let me start the timer here. And here we go. Okay, somebody have asked what is the difference between product owner and project sponsor. I'll try to answer after this question. Okay, 9 more seconds to go. Can I see some answers? I'm confused who started first answering it. Is it Sandeep or anyways? Sorry, I didn't notice who was the first one. But yeah, I can see many of you are answering C here. Okay. Okay, I see a B now. Fine. Okay, let me discuss the question. Okay. So it says a client working with an agile project team informs the product owner that their company wants to launch the website 1 month earlier than the plan. Fine. Now this is a situation. I can say problem statement as well. This change is due to this change is due to a critical business opportunity that could provide significant competitive advantages. Okay, so as the project manager, how should you guide the team in responding to this accelerated timeline? Fine. So A says inform the client that original timeline must be remain unchanged to maintain quality. Look, again, I won't go with this. Okay, when it comes to agile projects, agile is all about flexibility, right? So why you're doing a project in agile is to have that flexibility in place, right? So A is completely going against it, so I won't go with A. B says analyze, okay, the competitors updates, assess potential risk, and okay, I don't see any risk here, to be very frank. Okay, for look, when why agile is known as change driven project. Okay, agile projects are known as predictive, are known as plan driven. Why? You do a detailed planning and predictive and you follow the plan, right? Agile projects or adaptive environment projects are known as change driven, and change in agile means value driven. Every change in agile projects are considered as a value add to the product. right? Any feedback, any changes what a stakeholder brings into the table is to add a value to the product. No other reason they might come for a change, right? So if in case the value is analyzed by the product owner and he feels it's a valid and required and needed, okay, item for the product, it will be added to the product backlog, right? That is the reason it is known as change driven or value driven projects. Fine. So C says, so B says analyze the competitors update access. So I don't see it's a risk here. So completely wrong. So I won't go with B. C says work with the team to identify and prioritize the most essential website features to be delivered within the shortened schedule. Now C seems good to me. Okay, C says, okay, now my stakeholder asking to release the product a month before. Now with the stringent timeline, okay, what all can be prioritized? Okay, when I say team here, okay, it means work with the team means work with the Scrum team. So product owner is definitely included. Without a product owner, you cannot prioritize item. Okay, so it's not dev team. If they mention dev team, it means development team alone. But we know, okay, when team is included with the product owner and Scrum master, fine. So you cannot prioritize the product backlog without a Scrum master's approval or presence. But the prioritization is done by the PO can take the input from the team. Fine. So here work with the team to identify the prioritize the most essential website features to be delivered, okay, within the shorter schedule. So I feel C is practically very good solution for the situation in the project right now. D says immediately expand the team by adding new resources to meet the accelerated schedule. Look, in agile projects, you cannot directly add resources or you cannot directly expand or increase the size of the iteration. So even here, increasing the size won't make any sense. But yeah, it says directly add resources. So in agile projects, you won't directly add resources. Any changes handled by the product backlog grooming and refinement. Right? If in case the question says something is discussed and then both the parties have edited or changed the contract to add more resources and all, okay, then I can consider. Or else just because my customer is asking to deliver it a month before, I cannot just directly add resources and crash it out, right? Crashing is technique for your waterfall projects, right? Here it will be handled by prioritizing. So there are prioritization techniques called Moscow, Kano and all in adaptive environment, where when we prioritize items, all the items which are on the top are the most important, and what all are pushed down might be your least important things. So we will, what it is going to allow the team to do is to move the least important things to the bottom and deliver all the important things within the timeline. Fine. And if in case the question says whatever is remaining is also important for the stakeholder to deliver and all, then further things will be discussed and some actions will be taken. As we know, agile is a flexible environment, right? So for this question, C is the best choice. Fine. So I would go for C. Many of you have gone with C only. So thanks for that. Going with C. Fine. So let me see if I'm done with the 5 questions. Okay. I'll extend for 2 more minutes. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can drop it here. I can see one person have asked a question, which is, okay, what is the difference between the product owner and the project sponsor? Look, project sponsor is a person who have the authority. Project sponsor is the authorized person, okay, in the project who have the authority to take the fund from the organization and to fund your project. So the fund to your project will be released through your sponsor have to approve it, right? So he is the authorized person in your organization who can get the fund and fund your projects. That is sponsor. Who is product owner? Who owns the product? The product owner is actually controlling the scope here. So he will own the product, he will own the scope, but product owner will be always in sync with the customer, okay, and always be representative of the customer, right? He'll play the bridge between the customer and the team, and also the final shots or final decisions are taken by the product owner. But again, there are different types of product owner. I don't want to get into details. As per PMP, as per agile guides, product owner, okay, takes the decision for the product. He will take the inputs from the customer or stakeholders and all, the final decision from the product owner. Fine. Again, it is a capsule. Okay, if in case you are sitting in my class, my students know I'll take at least 10 minutes to explain this with the drawings and all. Fine. So yeah, that's the thing. Now, any more questions? Let me see that before I leave. I hope you guys have took some learning, okay, from this sessions. And again, people have doubts between who is customer and sponsor. Okay, so for me to explain customer and sponsor, again, I need a slide. I want to write and draw and explain. But yeah, I will stop my explanation here. I don't want to, because if I just speak on that, it will confuse you guys, right? So I don't want to get into that. But yeah, a customer will be, when you are in when your project is in a relation of customer and vendor, buyer and a seller, then from the customer side, you will have a customer. At your vendor side, you'll have a separate sponsor who is going to fund your project. Fine. But yeah, to explain that, I need more time, something to draw and all. Okay, sorry for that. Anything else? Anything else to be explained? Thank you, Vijay. You have mentioned it's a wonderful session. So thanks a lot for that. And you guys can always also visit our what do you say website, okay, eduhubspot.com. And also you can go to YouTube sessions. Okay, so these sessions are recorded, fine, and these are all there. So let me just share the link here. Fine, so let me share the link in this chat. You guys can see all the sessions we have conducted so far. Okay, so let me try to share my screen. Yeah, so if you go to YouTube, okay, EduHubSpot, and if you click on live, so you can see so many question and answer sessions are conducted by us, and you can, revisit them anytime. Fine. So this is the link what I've shown you. So if you go to our YouTube sessions, you can see that, and also you can visit our website. Okay, the way we explain in our classes is completely different. Okay, our students know that. And we give a practical explanation for PMP concepts and all. So if you are interested the way we are teaching, if you are new, if you are attending the sessions of EduHubs for the first time, yeah, you can visit our website, and you can see how you can get the courses from us. And also YouTube's, we have launched so many videos. Okay, so many videos, not only the question answer sessions. If you go to our YouTube, what do you say, videos, you can see Gautam have explained predictive flow, 1 hour video. The complete predictive flow is explained there. And the flow chart what he have used, if in case you want, again, you can go to a website and download from there. The whole agile flow is explained in 1 hour videos. Okay, so there are a couple of videos, very useful videos, which is there from the EduHubSpot. And while watching that, you can see how practically we explain things in the classes, and we give the knowledge. I hope the session was good for you guys, for a good practice, and how to approach questions, how to approach the best choices out of it. Okay, I hope you're taking some learning out of it. So thank you guys. I'm out of time. Okay, instead of 30, it's already been 50 minutes. So thanks a lot. I enjoyed today's day. I hope it was worth the time what you have spent here. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining. And I thank each one of you from on behalf of EduHubSpot. Thanks a lot. And also, please, when you like this video, okay, please add some comments later on. Okay, add some comments, and also add a comment. Okay, what topic you want in the next session. So I am modulating the questions based on the comments I'm receiving. Fine. So please drop a comment later on. Okay, what all you want to see moving forward. So Karanjit, all the best. We might connect after this call once. Okay, I want to speak to you. All the best for your tomorrow's exam. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'll end the session. You have a good day, good night sleep. Whoever is in the evening time. See you all. See you all. Maybe next week, or bi-weekly. I'll conduct this. See you all. Thank you. Thank you.